Alright, just got a lead on a motor on Marketplace, so I'm going to head over there now and talk to the guy, see if I can pick it up. It's a little 9.9. We'll see what it looks like. There it is, it's the new motor. This is a Mercury. I don't know what year it is, but it looks like it's old. Maybe the late 60s, early 70s. That's my guess, we'll see. The cool thing, it came with this old gas tanks, old Mercury gas tank. So that's pretty neat. Story behind it is this. So this thing was supposedly running 3 years ago. Guy had it out on the water, and the pull rope stopped working. I guess it stopped recoiling. So this is the pull rope here. It's got a little, whatever you call it, the little retracting device at the top of the cover that sits on top of the flywheel. String goes into here. So we'll see if we can fix that. Most likely, I'm assuming the return spring is bad on it. I did check to see if it goes into gear. It does. Other than that, I don't know anything else about it. Didn't check compression or anything like that. It was cheap, so I grabbed it. Something to have a little fun with. I'm a little nervous to pull it off because I know that there were wasps coming from somewhere when I bought this thing, and I'm hoping it's not inside. Obviously you can't tell from this camera, but this hood is stout. You wouldn't expect this thing to weigh this much. Holy crap. Now the recoil, the pull rope and recoil system is in there at the top, but I don't feel like that should account for all that extra weight. So it's got a single carb up front. Fuel lines are, well, this fuel line is rock hard. That one is not rock hard, but it looks ancient. This actually looks newer than that one. Obviously, the mud daubers made a little home in here. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. I guess since we know the pull string is messed up, let's see if we can fix that. Hey, hon.
Hi.
So right now we're trying to figure out how to get this assembly off, the recoil assembly. And there's no, so you know where we're at, catch you guys up. There's no bolts on the outside visible to disconnect that assembly, but there are 2 bolts inside which we think will allow us to remove this part, and then hopefully underneath this there will be 2 or a bolt to remove the recoil assembly. We're just guessing here, so we'll figure it out. We will see. Oh no. Okay. Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Gotta figure out how that goes.
Oh Jesus. Look at all those pieces.
Just count. Oh no. Oh no, no. This was on the outside. I remember seeing that. Alright, so we took off a bunch of bolts from the hood and finally got to this nut that's on the top side that will release the recoil assembly, and hit it with the impact, and instead of backing this nut off, what it did was pull this entire pin out of the entire assembly, which dropped our entire assembly on the table into multiple pieces. So now we have got to, one, reassemble the recoil assembly without knowing how it was originally, and two, we've still got this bolt seized on here. We tried hitting it with some penetrating fluid, tried, grabbing hold to it and backing it off. It's not working. We're gonna try some heat now and see if that works. If that doesn't work, honestly, I might have to take a second and think on it. Try something different, because right now I'm a little frustrated. Let's see if we got spark. What do you say? Yeah, I don't see anything. No. Nada. Alright. We got a recoil problem and we have a spark problem. Alright, so since we weren't getting spark, we pulled the flywheel off, and the reason for that is underneath the flywheel, under this cap, actually we got to take this cap cover off. Hang on. Let me grab another screwdriver. Alright, so in here, if you can see, let me get my little pointer. In here are two sets of points, right here and right here. And what happens is, over time, as these things age, there gets to be some corrosion built up on here. What happens is, this is the crankshaft, and on here, there is a lobe that, as this shaft rotates, there's a lobe, which is a high side to this crankshaft, and as it spins around, and that lobe hits right here, what it does is it will push this out and create a small gap in the points. Can you see that? The gap is right here. So as that goes around, this hits the lobe and it creates a gap. And those are your points. So this surface right here builds up corrosion. And what I'm going to do is take, I've got some 400 grit sandpaper that I'm going to run through here and get all of that oxidation and the corrosion off of here so that the surface is fresh. And I'll do that on both sides. And then once I do that, I will also, what you'll have to do is, there's a gap. So once this part right here is on the high side, is on that lobe, the gap between these two surfaces should be 0.02. So what you want to do is we'll take a feeler gauge. These things are, they're extremely cheap. I got this one from Harbor Freight. I don't remember what I spent on it. I got it years ago, but it's really cheap, really affordable. If you're going to be working on older motors like this, it's worth the purchase. So you can see that. Not sure if you can see it, but it says .020. So what you want to do is there's two screws. There's a screw here. You see that one? Same thing on the other side. You'll loosen that. Move the lobe so that it has this one, so that that's sitting on the high side of the lobe. You'll stick your feeler gauge in there and you'll move this so that it is tight on the feeler gauge. You should just feel a little bit of friction on the feeler gauge as you go, as you slide that through that gap there. Then you'll tighten that screw back down, and that's how you set your points. So that's what we're gonna do real quick so that we can fix, which hopefully, and it should, fix our spark problem. I can see it.
I can see it.
Okay.
I don't.
Ready?
Yes.
Spark.
Here.
So we can test the compression, or we can just see if it'll run.
Let's test the compression.
Okay.
Just under 120.
Yeah, looks like 110.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. So that's about 115. All right, so we've got spark. We've got that. We test the compression, and we've got 110 and 115. 110 on the top, 115 on the bottom. Those are two of the most important things we've got. We don't know what condition the carburetor's in, so we're not sure how well the fuel delivery system's going to be, but we're going to go ahead and put some water in here, put some spark plugs back in. We're going to hook it up to some gas and see if we can get it started. Which means that the carburetor is not
100 years old.
It's not well. Nothing.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got it to run on the carb cleaner. So that means we got everything else working right. Spark's good, compression's good, it'll actually run. We just need to get the fuel delivery to work, so we got to take this carburetor off, clean it out. Water.